So, hi there, it's Nikki in the Enchanted Woodland, along with Isis, somewhere hiding in the trees. There she goes. Today it's the 23rd of January, a lovely day after a few days of cloudy and cold, and we're back in the woodland again. And with the arduous task of cleaning up where I've been chopping down. So I don't know if you remember, but all this before was covered in bramble right up to these trees, and this little one here, these two little things sticking up, were shouting at me saying, please, please Nikki, please set us free, because these were just covered in bramble. I didn't even know they existed, and they're possible cherry trees, we think. So been cleaning it with a pitchfork. Now the problems with pitchforks are when they have wooden handles, you don't always know where they are. So quite a few times I've lost it because it's the same colour as wood. But using a pitchfork to obviously pick it up off the floor and put it on piles. And then anything that's like a reasonable sized branch or piece of wood I've put to one side, because Steve may be able to use those either for a fire or for, you know, for doing the hedges and hurdles and stuff. So Isis is still here with us. So yeah, we decided to have a big clean up so that we can see where we are. And obviously when you're cutting in a thick bramble like this, you can't always get down to the roots completely. So to clean it up, and it's a bit like, you know, when you cut the grass and you look back and all these blades of grass suddenly shoot up. Well, that's what happened. So it's trying to cut down and get into the roots, and trying to, you know, not disturb the soil too much, because there's so much topsoil, and obviously with the leaves and everything, I want to try and keep that. And Steve's been working hard on cutting down trees and branches and clearing up. No big surprises apart from what you may see if you come into our group on Facebook, the Enchanted Woodland Project. Steve's been writing about the birds we've seen here. There's a bird catcher. The long-tailed tits, and also sparrowhawks. Steve will tell you more about sparrowhawks, but there are a bird of prey, a very incredible bird of prey that managed to get through the tiniest of holes in fences. They're incredible flighters, and there seems to be a path that he takes often through this woodland looking for prey. And we do have pheasants coming in here, and I heard woodpeckers as well this morning. Isis is coming with us to walk. So all this I still need to clear up. And it's such a beautiful day to be here in the afternoon as well, when the sun is going down. Isis is also showing us another piece of wood that's been put down, and loads of butcher's broom. As I said, this is the stuff that Steve, or a lot of people do, and Steve used to spray gold for Christmas. It has red berries on it, and this is a sign apparently of ancient woodland, untouched woodland, and we're going to keep it obviously because it's great hedge material and keeping out unwanted visitors. I'll leave Isis do her business there. So it's just a day of more chopping and clearing. I think Steve's having a bit of a rest down here. I think he's a bit exhausted. Sitting on the pile of pile of logs even, that he's chopped. Just a daily update. Brilliant. So you've cut down 2 trees here?
3.
Oh, 3, yeah. Yeah, bottles on one. Because as you can see, these oaks are so close together, so many more have got to go. So Steve is sitting on some of the wood. And yeah, cleared this lot up. I don't know if you can remember from before, but this was quite an archway, and there was so much blackthorn, which is slow, and brambles climbing up the trees, so we've really aired it out. It's incredible.
Oh, here we are. Pretty exhausted now.
Yeah.
But it's been a really good day. We've achieved quite a lot. This area of blackthorn, like Nikki said, was slow. We wanted to really leave it, but it's so it's dead. Look at these laying on the ground. See that one over there? Where I've even cut it off at the end there and allowed the bits to grow. But yeah, the rest of it was just laying on the ground basically.
Yeah.
Pretty poor condition. So hopefully it'll regenerate, because there's lots of slow. They do self-propagate very easily. So yeah, it should come back again. But we found another couple of ferns in amongst it all. Another box there. Another little one over here. But as Nikki was saying to you, a lot of these little tiny oaks, they're doing nothing, and they're actually damaging the growth of the other trees. If you look at that one out in the front there, yeah, that one there, look at the way it's all leaning and all the branches are on one side. That won't make old age, because it's just going to grow and grow, and the weight is just going to pull it over. It's already going over. And that's because of all these little tiny oaks that are growing in here, which are dying. Several of them are dead because they just can't survive in that environment. There's just too many. And so yeah, we've got to thin them out and leave the better ones, the ones that not necessarily the oldest or the biggest, but the straightest, and the ones that look like they can survive.
Yeah, because I can imagine this one here, it's had to go out the side to look for light.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that one and these have also affected this one there to the left. Look, if you look up there, there's very little growth on this side.
Yeah.
Because it was starved of light, so
yeah,
it's reached to the light. That one will be okay.
Yeah, because it's a bit more isolated, isn't it?
But it might be better to take that big one out and leave a couple of these smaller ones, like this one there. That's nice and straight. It's reached to the light, and it's a better tree than that one, even though it's bigger. So yeah, hunting the robin.
That she's not going to catch.
Nope. No chance.
Isis is not a big hunter. She's our little hippie cat, really.
But yeah, so yeah, it's been a great day. We've achieved a lot.
We have.
These oak here, they had to go this way down through the slough, and when I looked at the slough, it was such a bad condition. I decided to fell the oaks into that and then deal with it then and cut all the slough down. So
yeah, that's in the
needs must.
Here. Yeah, it needed to go, and yeah, I mean, we thought, you know, when we saw these sloughs like creating this incredible arch, but it was just so covered in bramble, it was awful, and it needs a good clear out really, because, you know, blackthorn, a bit like hawthorn, it's the thorns, isn't it, that create more branches, so it just becomes
2 inches long.
Yeah,
on this.
And they grow into further branches. It's just a complete mess. So we've really cleared all this up, and then this is not a dead hedge. It looks like a hedge, but as I said before, using a pitchfork, we've cleaned all this up into one long area so we can see what we're doing. We can see how the ground reacts, and obviously when, you know, when the light comes in, we've cleared all this up, there's going to be so much more coming out. So I've cleaned all this down here as well. Cleaned a lot. Any surprises? Not really, apart from the...
No.
Just apart from this all.
A couple of butcher's broom that we found, and a couple more ferns. There are a few ferns in this area down here.
Ah, I should probably go and take them,
Yeah,
to see. And as I was just telling them as well, if they're going into our Facebook group, how you've put about the birds, how the long-tailed tits you've seen.
yeah, yeah. And I saw Sparrowhawk again today.
Ah,
Early days. Yeah.
I was just talking about the sparrowhawk before.
Ah, yeah. So yeah, if you sit quietly for 5 minutes, it comes to life again. You know, it's going to be lovely when this is done. And you can just sit and look. And it's, yeah,
Just
it's quite wonderful.
what's the nature?
Mm.
You know, we become part of nature. Nature is part of us, but it's just sitting there and allowing nature to do its thing. And why we just sit so quietly. Ah, now this is a very unusual tree. I was just saying before how I kept losing my pitchfork because it was the same colour.
Yeah.
So the ferns, Steve is a big fan of ferns. So we have them here. Ferns are not bracken. We have a lot of bracken in this garden. It's a nightmare. There's ferns as well. So ferns will come straight from the central stalk, whereas bracken, you will have a large stalk like this. It's completely different the way they grow. But yeah, these were quite a surprise. So we're going to go very carefully around here and to preserve the ferns. Lots of them. Beautiful little lot here as well. To show you the view across the field. The woman over there, she has a load of dogs, as you can hear. This is all got to go because these hawthorn are completely dead. As you see, Steve's often felled them already. Trying to get out of the sun so I can see a bit more. But yes, these are completely all got to go. The complete mess behind our gîte. So this is a big clear out. And yesterday, when I was munching away through the bramble, it is now clear. So all this was completely covered to the hedge. So from here to here and all the way along, so completely covered it. This apparently with the red is dogwood. And then this is a hazelnut. Interestingly, you won't be able to see probably on the video that the catkins are a pinky colour. And normally they're yellow, so there could be a different type of hazel this is. So all the way through here. I cut through yesterday. And then this is part of the wall, I think. I can just scramble up without losing my footing. Now I know why I really wanted to have ducks. You can hear the chimes in the background. So yeah, there's all parts of, you know, it's hard to know whether it's tree, whether it's stone from this building. Whoops, I almost went through there. Oh, it's hard to know. Yeah, you see, as we can see here, it's the old stone. Of the building. So all this here we want to completely uncover. What's in there? Isis is still with us. So this is quite a mystery really through here. More stones under my feet. I can hear the buzzards overhead. And yeah, we still don't know if anybody knows what this might be. If you think the building was here, and then we have this little circle of stones, and we don't know, maybe it was a fire pit. Don't know. We've yet to discover what that was. We had hoped it was going to be a well. So all this was all bramble. We couldn't cross here before. Some more tree that's gone down that was completely leaning over and dead. Had to go. And then I will take you back up the main entrance from our garden is just down there. And then up here, I was working here yesterday, clearing out from near the pond. That's a little pond there. I really want to clear out. And then all this was completely covered in bramble. This tree, all the bramble here. That's it. Oh, now we have Euphorbia. Now they just have to be careful because the white sap from it is latex based and can irritate. But I do love them, and they grow wild, and they have gorgeous yellow leaf-like flowers. I get quite a lot of those in here. And so yeah, I kind of cleared all this lot yesterday. So all this we have to clear up. And we'll probably neat this up again, and we may want to keep this part now quite natural, so that we want to keep some bramble so that birds can nest in it. I found a few nests here, obviously dead nests, but in the bramble I was cutting down there were a couple of nests in there, and so we'll be keeping some bramble for the birds. Obviously I'm not going to cut it all down because it's a fantastic place as well. If you think of bramble, what it's like, blackberry for the Americans, we also call it blackberry. It's a great protective place because of the thorns, so there are small animals that will hide in there. See, we also have a nice area here, a nice circular area of the trees, which is where we may do the sweat lodge or something here. I've got to clean all this lot up. But some of this bramble, I mean this tree, this one was obviously completely covered. Isis is still following me around. But the brambles here, if you see what we're up against, that is thick bramble, really heavy stuff. And another circle here of trees. So this is where I was working yesterday and really munching my way through it. Hello, me Isis. Hello, my little girl. She loves her time alone. She's one of the cats. She's the first litter of cats, and there's Trinity and Saki who were trained up to look after the second lot of kittens. Biscuit took them away to train, and because Saki and Trinity are quite they're hunters really, and Isis isn't, and I think so Biscuit thought that for her kittens, if Biscuit was going out, you know, on her rounds, she needed somebody to look after them, and Trinity and Saki were the best ones to guard and to hunt, whereas Isis is much gentler. She's a real gentle soul, as in the goddess of love, which is Isis, and she's a little hippie, and she's very, very gentle, and she's the one that's probably, I wouldn't say bonded the least, but she prefers her own time, really. She's a nature girl and can't always be bothered with the kittens, who are just so lively at the minute. Another Euphorbia. And here we are, back to where I was talking to you before. So this, as you can see, is a post here, so this is definitely going to be a lovely little entrance into the second part. And the two parts of woodlands have, to me, they have very different feels about them. And that is a farmer's field there. And there we have it. Today's little update on the woodland. I should just leave you with the evening sun. And just imagine this in the spring, when there's bluebells and crocuses coming up. See you again soon for another update.